have been asked by several of my subscribers, is microblading or tattooing is best for permanent makeup? And I know a little bit about that subject, but I've decided to get a professional guest speaker to answer those questions for you, and look for the next 3 episodes. Hey, Mr. Blue. Enjoy. Welcome back, Bruna.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes. So we are going to be continuing part 2. Last week, we talked about the sanitation, how to find a good technician. And so you talked a lot about why you liked this industry so much. So it was a full session, and I've had quite a few people really enjoying that. So today, we are going to talk about eyebrows. This session, I would like to focus more on eyebrows. It is, I think, in my opinion, is the most popular service in your industry. The question that I have between microblading and tattooing.
The main difference is the tool used.
Okay.
So microblading, I mean, it's been very popular in the last 10 years, but it's not new. It's an older technique, but the tools are newer. So it made a big comeback. The tool used for microblading, as the name implies, is the little blade.
Okay.
But the blade is not one piece. If it was one piece, it would be called a scalpel. The blade is made out of a series of small needles soldered together that create what looks like a blade. And the reason that it's not one piece is because you need that friction, that traction, so you don't go too deeply. That's microblading. It is done more superficially than tattooing. So the blade creates a cut. So imagine this before I go into tattooing. If I cut you, or if you get cut, you might need stitches if that cut is too deep.
Yes.
But if you're injured with a tool that looks like a punch, you don't need stitches. Once that punch comes out of your skin, then the skin closes around it and it needs to heal internally, but no stitches required. So when we do tattooing, whether it's a cartridge, or whether it's a rotary machine, like an original tattoo machine, it's a needle that goes up and down. So it makes punches of color into the skin, like a sewing machine into the skin. And so because it's creating that punch, I can go a little bit deeper with a tattoo machine.
Got it.
That's the difference between microblading and tattooing. The appearance of both of them can be good.
Yes.
Both are slightly different.
Okay. So which one do you prefer?
Well, it really depends on the skin. So I prefer the look of microblading, which is why I always begin with microblading. And then when my customers come in for the touch-up, based on what I see a month later, 6 weeks later when they come in, I can make a decision whether tattooing is better for them or if we can finish the work with microblading. So I use both interchangeably, and sometimes I use it both on the same customer depending on their skin type.
Yeah, because I've had a student of mine say, Maria, I've heard that when you do tattooing, you cannot do microblading on top.
Well, that's not really true. I've done a lot of microblading over tattooing. But the important thing is that the tattoo is much lighter than the color that I'm going to choose for microblading, so I can have that contrast. I actually like that sometimes, because when they've had tattoo done before, I don't have just skin color now as a canvas. I have a little bit of a pattern.
Shade,
I have another color. Provided that color is a good color, I can now make my microblading strokes a little farther apart, creating a two-tone 3D effect.
Uploading some of your eyebrows so people can see your work right here as we speak. Now, there's another terms that I've heard, and I don't know nothing about it: ombre, powder finish, embroidery, and the other one is hair stroke.
Okay, so
what is the difference?
Ombre and powder finish, they're just new terminology for a solid eyebrow. Imagine a solid eyebrow 30 years ago was quite pronounced, quite solid, but could look quite nice if the color was good.
Yes.
Powder finish now and ombre is done with a tattoo machine, one needle usually, and it creates a very powdery finish.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's actually quite nice, and it's suggested a lot for oilier skin, older skin that have a lot of wrinkling, that the microblading may not be the best solution.
Okay.
Embroidery, I always chuckle at embroidery because I don't know. It's just another word for, I see embroidery and it's hair strokes. Sometimes I see embroidery and it's reverse strokes. They're just words that people use to embellish their service.
So when you do like a strokes this way, strokes that way, does that cause a problem?
So it's really important to look at the direction of the hair.
Okay.
So I really try to go in the direction of the hair stroke, make a really natural stroke. The only time that I do reverse stroke is usually on ethnic people that have hair that grow down. You want to go in that same direction.
Okay.
When you do microblading or tattooing, you never want to cause a crisscross happening. You always want the strokes to be crisp and individual. Otherwise, the skin heals the color in a mush and then becomes solid looking. That has to do with the skill of the technician.
How long does a permanent makeup last? And how often can I do it?
So that's a good question, actually, because how often can I do it? Some people do really well with microblading, and some people, because of their skin, they get small, superficial scarring strokes.
Okay.
So if that's the case with your skin, the next procedure might be better a tattoo rather than a microblade. But as far as longevity, because microblading is more superficial, you're looking at redoing the brows at least every 2 years.
Okay.
With the tattooing, you're looking at doing the brows every 3 to 5 years. That's on average. Having said that, I have clients that have come in to see me that they don't need a follow-up. They actually look really good and there's nothing to be done. And that has to do with the skin.
Okay.
It has to do, in my opinion, not so much with the oiliness and the dryness. And that is talked about a lot. Whereas if your skin is drier, you do better with microblading and lasts longer. But in my opinion, it has to do with the structure of your collagen elastin fibers. Because if you have a nice tight elastin support, then yes, the color will stay more where I put it. Whereas if you are older and the elasticity is you're losing it, you know, you can see that the color will migrate a little bit more. But in general, eyebrows 1 to 2 years if it's microblading, 3 to 5 if it's tattooing. Keep in mind that people have eyebrows that have had for 20, 30 years, but they got the wrong color hue. So the newer pigments today, they are softer, they're more natural, they look better, but they don't last as long. We forfeit that longevity. But nobody wants blue eyebrows anymore. So I think most people are okay with getting their brows redone every several years. Eyeliners last between 5 to 8 years. They don't go away completely. They just lighten. They become more faded, and people want to brighten that color. And same with lips. Usually 5 to 8 years. Lip colors do change. They change in time, and they're always, the color is always kind of there, but people will freshen it up after 5 to 8 years. So it is a longer lasting service. If you're a consumer that you'd like to have a service done, ask questions. Just ask questions until you're completely satisfied with the response, you're satisfied with the experience, you're satisfied with the training, you like what that person does, you like what they say, you feel comfortable in their presence, and enjoy the experience, because it does make a huge difference to wake up in the morning and have everything done already.
Yeah, sounds amazing. So Bruna, thank you so much for this tutorial and the previous tutorial. And next session is going to be on eyeliner, and you're going to talk about the different types of eyeliner depending on the eye shape and lips. Look forward to that one there.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.